Yesterday was a really interesting day for me as an entrepreneur. Days like this don't happen very often, but I wanted to share with you exactly what happens when I have a day where I feel like I want to quit and exactly what I do to get myself back into alignment, back into my vision, and back into my why, because you and I both have way more important things to do with our lives, our energy, and our time than fight with ourselves and decide to give up on these big goals and visions that have been placed inside of our hearts.
I can tell you've got big goal energy. Are you ready to turn your wildest dreams into your everyday reality? You are in the right place. Welcome to Big Goal Energy, the podcast that helps you turn your audacious and delusional dreams into your everyday life. We know that you don't settle for the ordinary, that you have dreams which others may deem unrealistic. But here, we help you defy reality and bring those dreams to life. Each episode of Big Goal Energy empowers you with knowledge, inspiration, and mentorship to conquer your most unrealistic goals. From transparent roundtable conversations to short-form episodes, you'll hear the experiences of women who have defied reality, as well as learn practical tips and strategies to fuel your journey. Join us by subscribing to Big Goal Energy, and together we'll turn your audacious dreams into remarkable achievements.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Big Goal Energy. Bri Seeley here. Yesterday was a rare day for me in my entrepreneurial land. I definitely came home last night and was like, is it time to give up on the nonprofit? Is it time to give up on the conference? Now, mind you, I'm coming on the heels of a lot of really beautiful, brilliant wins for the nonprofit. I closed a pretty large sponsorship. Black Wall Street Chamber is on board. They're going to be working with us for the conference, Success Becomes Me, and also the executive director of that organization will be the MC, the masteress of ceremonies for the conference as well. And we also just got a Bravo TV star and 5-time millionairess as our closing keynote. Proof-wise, things are actually going very well. So what triggered me to want to give up and want to quit yesterday? I've been hosting monthly networking events, and as it turns out, it's just hard getting people to events, especially in the summer. I hosted this event yesterday, and we had about half of the attendance that I wanted to have. Now, I also trust that the right people are always in the room, and we had hoped to use these networking events as ways to get more people to the conference. So I put all this time and all this energy into developing up these networking events, getting people there, and we had about half the attendance that we wanted yesterday. Now, I came home and sat down with Jordan and was like, is November it? Like, is that it? Is that the end? Do I need to call this? Like, do I need to host this event and then be like, and thanks so much, have a good one, okay, bye. I know when these things happen, for the most part, our brains are telling us stories about why we're not there yet, why it's not happening, why, despite all of the evidence, right, that I showed with you, we're already 25% sold out for an event that is 80 days away. That is a pretty significant accomplishment. Most events are last minute nowadays. I know that most times when I'm feeling the need to quit, it's oftentimes because the expectations in my head simply don't match the reality. Now, as individuals who have very big goals, we are very ambitious. Oftentimes our expectations tend to be set pretty high. The bar is high. I don't know if you can relate to this, but my bar is high. I want everything done yesterday. This is the plight of the ambitious individual. I can recognize when these moments happen that oftentimes it is just a mismatch of where I'm expecting to be internally versus where I am externally. And because I know that, I have developed up some ways to help myself in those moments so that I don't spiral down the rabbit hole of wanting to quit. As I mentioned earlier, you and I have way the fuck more important things to do than be sitting around worrying about whether or not we are going to quit and give up on these big goals that we have been gifted, that have been placed in our hearts. Here's exactly what I did yesterday to help get myself back into alignment, and some of the winks and nods that I got from the universe along the way as well. I just happened to have a session with my Foundry Mastermind group yesterday. Now, this was a wink from the universe. This was not a planned element that I needed to help myself get out of this funk. But one of the women in that group said to all of us, she said, I have been in a lot of groups. I have invested a lot of money, been in a lot of groups over the last 10 years in my business. And she's like, I have never experienced one that is as supportive as this community is. And she's like, Bri, I don't know what you did or how you did it, but this group, the unconditional, no strings attached support that I receive from this group of women is like nothing I have ever experienced before in my life. Now, I used to not be able to receive things like that, but I sat there and I let those words sink in and I let myself be receptive of that compliment, of that praise. That's something that definitely helped me yesterday to know that I'm always on the right track and that what I'm doing is working. The other thing that did help yesterday was actually being in that room at the networking event that I cultivated and curated. There were some amazing individuals in that room. Some were brand new, some were repeat. But the crux of why that was important for me to be in that room yesterday was, one, I had a very trusted advisor, mentor, colleague, friend on my side. We had a fireside chat. Two, I put myself in a room full of other ambitious women who also have big goals and big dreams. And we all got to talk about the steps we take, the thoughts we have, the ways we set ourselves up for success. And it was just a really brilliant opportunity for all of us to join our ambitions in a really beautiful way. Immediately after that event, I went to another networking event full of a lot of women that don't know me at all. And I surrounded myself with those beautiful, inspiring, lovely women. I got to see someone that I haven't seen in a long time. I got to meet someone that I've been Facebook friends with and have not yet met in person. And I got to meet the owner of my favorite coffee shop here in Tulsa. Putting myself in the energy of other really generous, kind, supportive, loving women, and also in a container that I did not have to facilitate. As ambitious individuals, we are the ones facilitating most of the containers that we're in. And I think it's really important for us to also step back and be in other people's containers so that we are being led and not having to be the ones who are leading. It also helped me to look around that room and say, oh, they have an organization that has been around for 100 years with a lot of members, and they had the same amount of attendance that I had at my organization, which is a 1.5 years old, who has a very small list of individuals who have engaged in the community so far. The other thing I did was call a trusted friend on the drive between the two networking events, both to share some wins and also discuss some challenges and also just celebrate each other.
Pardon this quick interruption. One of the biggest challenges ambitious entrepreneurs face is closing the gap between where they are and their big goal. I've created a resource for you that will help you navigate the journey more easily. Defy Reality, the female entrepreneur's guide to achieving her audaciously ambitious goals, will guide you through a process to 110% claim the inevitability of your big delusional goal, banish your doubts, and identify the exact steps you need to take to defy reality. Visit briseeley.com/free to get immediate access to this tool that will help you stop wasting your time so you can start defying reality. And now, back to your episode.
And last but not least, I got on the couch last night completely drained, completely exhausted, feet hurting, back hurting, tired, and so ready to go to bed. And I had a beautiful heart-to-heart with Jordan. And actually, a girlfriend also called me when I was sitting on the couch as well. I say all these things. A lot of these things that I did yesterday are all external things. I happen to be an external processor. So I'm the kind of person where if I have something, a thought that pops up, I will absolutely journal about it, but I also just need to talk it out with some other people too. And here's why. Like I mentioned before, we can tend to go down mental rabbit holes when we're needing to quit. I am able to step back and assess some proof for myself at this point, but also having people on the outside of me to remind me who I am, what I'm here for, what I'm capable of, that this is not a quitting moment, this is a regathering your strength moment, is so helpful to keep me in alignment. This morning, I also woke up, I meditated, I tapped back into my affirmations, I took myself out for coffee this morning, I changed my scenery around me, I went to the acupuncturist, did some things to take care of myself, because I know that if I'm not taking care of myself in these moments, those are the moments when I am spiraling down. And believe me, I have been on plenty of those spirals to know how quickly they can hit, how quickly they can bring you down, and how powerful our minds are at convincing us of something when it's not actually the rabbit hole that we want to be going down. I have purposefully, in the last 24 hours, put myself in situations, had conversations, done self-care things, and really made sure that I am well, because if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, if you are not well, your business cannot be well. I cannot show up for Infinite Horizons. I cannot show up for Big Goal Energy. I cannot show up for the Foundry. I cannot show up for Success Becomes Me or any of these things if I am not well. And I say this because last year at this exact same time, literally to the day, it is August 22nd today, my body stopped processing food. Everything that was going in was either coming out liquid or coming out as whole food still. My body completely, totally, fully stopped processing food for about 6 weeks last year. I dropped 15 pounds in 6 weeks, which is significant. That is more than a tenth of my body weight in 6 weeks. I know that if I am not well, if I'm going down those mental rabbit holes of stress, of overwhelm, of overworking, of trying to muscle it out and, muggle it out in the three-dimensional world, I am not going to be able to be at my best for myself, for Jordan, for our pets, for my clients, for the nonprofit, for any of those things. I say this to say, if you are in a season where you're thinking, maybe I need to quit, take a beat. Who do you have around you that you can talk to that is a trusted advisor? Not someone who's a 9-to-5er, someone who knows the vision in your heart, who knows the ambition in your soul, who knows who you are and what you're trying to build. Do not go to your parents about this. Do not go to people that do not live the life you want about this, but go to a trusted advisor. And if you don't have someone, I have a group, a community of 1,300 entrepreneurs who would gladly encircle you and hold you up and remind you who the fuck you are. All right? Go to some trusted people, have some conversations. Is this truly a quitting moment? Probably not. Also, get clear within yourself. Is this just coming up because your ambitions are not matching the world around you? Can you temper your ambitions a little bit? Can you change the world around you a little bit? How do you begin to close that gap? The longer you stay in the gap, the harder it's going to be. And what do you need to refill your tank? One of my clients texted me yesterday and she said, holy shit, I literally slept all day today. And my response was, good for you. How are you feeling? If we are overworking ourselves and pushing ourselves to the brink, we cannot be well for our businesses. We cannot be well for our clients. We cannot be well for the communities and things and the podcasts and the stuff that we're building, okay? I am not going to quit. I am going to reassess. I am going to continue to have conversations with trusted advisors. I am going to continue to empower my team to take the steps they need to take to make the things that we are building together successful. And I encourage you to do the same. Save this episode for a day that you feel like you want to quit. Listen back to it and remember who the fuck you are, why you started, and the ambition that is just passionately on fire inside of your soul, because that passion is going to carry you on these days when you feel like you want to quit, and so are the people around you. Sending you big, big hugs on this day, whenever it is, wherever you're listening. Remember, you can come join us in the Big Goal Energy community for free by visiting briseeley.com/community. If you have a question or a topic you'd like for me to cover on any of the upcoming episodes, please email it to info@briseeley.com. Last but not least, please make sure you are subscribed and that you are able to rate and review this podcast on whatever platform you're listening. It truly, truly, truly helps us reach more people just like you who need it. Wishing you the best day today. And remember, it is very unlikely that it is a day for you to quit. It is very likely a day for you to take care of yourself, to surround yourself with the right people, and to remember who you are and why you started. Much love. I'm the entrepreneur coach, Bri Seeley. Thank you for listening to Big Goal Energy, and I will see you in the next episode.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Big Goal Energy. We trust that it fueled your ambition and made you feel seen. We are a community of ambitious female entrepreneurs like you. Come join us in the Big Goal Energy community by visiting briseeley.com/community. In the meantime, send your questions for us to cover in the episodes to info@briseeley.com. Together, we'll turn your audacious dreams into remarkable achievements. Cheers to defying reality. See you on the next episode.